Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. G'day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the little bell on the side. So once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one of getting all the insight. Now, today is the weekend and it's the 19th of February 2022. Now, obviously, shortly on the 21st, which is going to be the Monday next, we'll have the full opening of the Australia border. Very exciting. Accompanied with this exciting opening of the border, obviously there's a lot of policy changes and introductions. So I would like to take you with one information and news that I received in regard to positive opening of more quota for the migrants, and also the upcoming changes for the graduate work visas and the company other policies. Anyway, let's go in and have a look. And this is all about good news for Australia. If you are looking to migrate to Australia, this will be perfect timing. Okay, now first news is this one. This came out on the 17th of February, late on the evening, almost 8 p.m. at that night. So obviously we got it on 18, which is yesterday. So the topic says call on Australian government to open floodgates. Now, what does that mean, floodgate? Floodgate actually means just open, accept everyone, and that's what it meant. To more migrants to overcome acute work shortage. Obviously, over the past 2 years with the pandemic, we have learned with numerous numbers of news articles naming shortage on skilled persons. So obviously the other side of the politics can no longer saying that we have enough work, we don't need more people here. It has caused a lot of problem, although we are experiencing a record number low of unemployment rate. But that also shows that there's not enough workers around Australia, especially with a continent that big. It's the 6th largest continent in the world, or country in the world, and only with 25 million people. That is definitely not enough. Okay, so big business one level of skilled migrant temporarily ramped up to catch up the loss of workforce, and that will obviously accompany with a permanent pathway. The Business Council of Australia is submitting 2020 and 23 budget, which is the coming budget in July, to have the skilled migrant cap raised to 220,000 for the next 2 financial years. Now, that exactly matches to what we have learned in October 2021, with the new Premier of New South Wales said about 2 million migrants, and that matches to the budget required, and it was done last year, plus the parliamentary committee amendments to actually allow that. Now, this is for permanent skill migration, so that is the key to actually attract more skilled workers. So Australian government understand all this, so it's all about the Business Council wanting, that means, you know, small, medium and large size of businesses want more people to come to Australia. So this includes new ambitious national skill agreement, better target training and near-learned employer, a further 12-month step down, and we need to throw everything. So basically that's all the news came out here is basically telling the government of Australia, we need more people. We need more people. The country has moved beyond waiting for COVID reach. So obviously the economy requires more people to work to pump the economy better. So I don't see there is any other obstacles around this, because this kind of news and things has come around since early 2021. If you have followed my channel long enough, you may notice I have always reporting, although there were some minor article talking about, whoa, no, we should not get more people coming. But look, the problem here is the economy. We do not have enough people in Australia, and that is the fact. Now, how do you address this? Oh, we don't want more people to come in. Well, that won't work for sure. So the Business Council of Australia has basically pointed to the right direction, and it is the right directions, as we have learned from the past. And obviously, every time that the economy of Australia has been hit negatively, the only way to open a better future is to have a better, relaxed immigration policy. So I'm not gonna go through all these numbers, because this business numbers and turnovers doesn't really give too much information there, but it's just the key reference where the direction of the immigration policy will be. Now I'm going to take you to some technical stuff. So first of all is the amendments of the extension of temporary graduate visa. So if you're a holder of 485 visa, now when that was the news came out on the 25th of November 2021. Obviously, due to COVID-19 pandemic restrictions, there were a lot of people having 457 visas, and it was basically useless because you cannot even come into Australia. So Australian government is giving that back to everybody, and that will be open the I think July 2000 and this year. So you will be able to apply for it. So the main thing here that we need to look for is, okay, now where are we? Okay, so this will be open on the second half of the year, and you have a time frame between July to September 30th to apply this. And who can actually apply? I actually received a lot of comments and questions in regards to this. Basically, the government will actually notify you if you're eligible to do this, but they have spelled out more detail here, which is very good because they previously haven't done so. So the extension applied to all 457 visa holders. They were primary visa holders. Now, first of all, you have not applied for any other visas. So if you have applied for student visa or applied for 482 or whatever other visas, then you're not deemed to be eligible anymore. Okay, so here is the key. You were outside Australia at any time between the 1st February 2020 and 14th of December 2021. So start from the pandemic until the finish, well, with probably because the 15th of December is the key time they opened up the border. So 14th of December last year. Now during that time, you have were held a 457 visa, which was in effect, okay, and during that time has ceased or would have ceased between 1st October before 1st October 2022 and was not cancelled. And now that is the key. So again, you were outside. Now the key here, outside, we need to depict whether or not you were affected or not, because here we can see there's a replacement travel restriction. Replacement will be available to people who are outside Australia at any time. Now key here is anytime. That means you were outside but you came back as well, then that will count as well. But if during 1st of February until the 14th of December you never got out of Australia, then that means you're not eligible on those extensions. So between that time, anytime you were outside of Australia, so you were outside of Australia at any time, so even one day will count, okay? And this reflects a period of international travel restriction impacted. So obviously it can't be one day, because during that time, if you travel out, there's a quarantine procedure, 14-day, and come back another quarantine procedures, and that costs a lot of money and time, and that's where people got lost of their right on 485 visa. Noting that from 15th of December, Australia were fully vaccinated eligible holders. So that is the key answer there. Now the other news here I wanted to talk about is federal government has now opened business. So there is actually a statement here. They have already got 13,500 international students back to Australia. 1,000 backpack will arrive. Another 35,000 working holiday maker approved. Blah blah blah. And there's also refund package that if you arrive between, I think before end of February, end of March, and there's actual announcement which doesn't really look too good, but anyway, it's a repeat of what we just read. So good sign for Australia. So obviously, if you 2022 will be a very bright year after pandemic for Australia. A lot of policy will come up. So first of all, today's video we've talked about the Business Council of Australia is aiming to lobby to the government and also put it on the media that increased number of permanent intake to raise up to the level of 220,000. Now that is great. So that means there's opportunity to migrate there. And also in regards to 485 visa extended and replacements, watch out on what you need to do. Anyway, should you have more questions, query, more than welcome to leave a comment right down below. And have a great weekend, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.